Imagine losing a fortune so large that it could change someone's life forever. Now imagine finding it while living on the streets with nothing to your name. What would you do? Would you keep it or would you return it? Today we'll dive into an extraordinary story about a homeless man who faced this very dilemma and made a decision that shook the world. Stay with me as we uncover this tale of compassion, justice, and hope. Because sometimes the smallest acts of kindness can echo louder than the wealthiest deeds. Our story begins in the bustling streets of Chicago, where life moves fast and fortunes are made and lost in an instant. Among the towering skyscrapers and glittering city lights lived Adam Reynolds, a man in his late 40s, whose life had unraveled. Once a construction worker with a steady income, a tragic accident left him unable to work. The medical bills piled up, followed by the eviction notice. With no family to turn to, Adam found himself on the streets with nothing but a tattered backpack and a fading hope for better days. Adam spent his days collecting cans, doing odd jobs, and navigating shelters. He'd set up a spot outside a high-end cafe, hoping for spare change. Most people hurried past him, their eyes avoiding his. But Adam's spirit remained unbroken. Every day he greeted passers-by with a smile and a "have a good day." Still, the nights were the hardest. Chicago winters were merciless, and Adam often wondered if he'd make it to spring. He found small joys where he could: the warmth of a public library, a cup of donated coffee, or the rare kindness of a stranger. But his hope was dwindling, replaced by the grim reality of his circumstances. Pause for a moment. What would you do in Adam's shoes? Could you keep smiling if the world ignored you? Let's continue. One chilly morning, as Adam sat outside his usual spot, a commotion caught his attention. A well-dressed man, distracted by his phone, rushed out of the cafe and got into a waiting car. In his haste, he left behind a sleek black briefcase. Adam called out to the man, but the car sped away. Adam hesitated. The briefcase looked expensive, and it was likely important. He debated whether to open it or wait to see if the man returned. Minutes turned to hours and no one came back. Finally, curiosity got the better of him. Adam pulled the briefcase closer, hoping to find an ID. What he found instead took his breath away. Inside were stacks of $100 bills, neatly bundled, alongside a small leather notebook. The total? A jaw-dropping $500,000. Adam's heart raced. This money could change his life. It could mean a warm bed, hot meals, and a fresh start. But something gnawed at him. He opened the notebook and found the owner's name, Marcus Harlan, a prominent businessman, known for his sharp deals and even sharper suits. Adam had heard of him before, a man with everything. As he wrestled with his thoughts, a familiar ache settled in his chest. He remembered his father's words. "Son, your integrity is worth more than gold." Returning the briefcase would mean staying hungry and cold. Keeping it would mean betraying the values that defined him. For the first time in years, Adam was paralyzed by a choice. He walked aimlessly, clutching the briefcase, replaying scenarios in his mind. Finally, Adam sought refuge in an all-night diner. Over a cup of lukewarm coffee, he weighed his options. Could he live with himself if he kept the money? Could he endure another winter on the streets if he gave it back? As dawn approached, Adam made his decision. What would you do? Hold on to the briefcase and change your life, or give it back, knowing you'd return to the same struggles? That morning, Adam made his way to the local library. He used a public computer to find Marcus Harlan's company address. With trembling hands, he wrote a note explaining the situation and included his contact information. Then he placed the briefcase untouched in the lobby of Marcus's office building and left. For days, Adam heard nothing. He began to doubt his decision. Had Marcus even received the briefcase? Did he care? Adam's faith in doing the right thing started to waver. He returned to his daily routine, trying to push the briefcase from his mind. But just as he began to lose hope, His old, battered phone rang. It was Marcus's assistant. "Mr. Harlan would like to meet you," she said. "Can you come to his office tomorrow?" Imagine getting a call like this. How would you feel? Nervous? Excited? Let's see what happens next. The next day, Adam walked into Marcus Harlan's sleek office. The building's opulence was overwhelming, a sharp contrast to Adam's reality. Marcus, a tall man with commanding presence, greeted him with a firm handshake. "You must be Adam," he said, his voice steady but warm. "You returned my briefcase. Why?" Adam's response was simple. "Because it was the right thing to do." Marcus was stunned. He had assumed the money was gone forever, but here stood a man with nothing who had chosen honesty over greed. Moved by Adam's integrity, Marcus made a decision that would change both their lives. Marcus wasn't just grateful, he was inspired. Over the next few hours, he listened to Adam's story. The hardship, the resilience, and the unwavering moral compass in the face of adversity moved him deeply. Marcus saw an opportunity to give back in a meaningful way. "Adam," Marcus said, "your actions remind me of something I've lost along the way. Faith in humanity. I want to help you." He offered Adam a job at his company's charity division, where they helped people in need find housing and employment. But Marcus didn't stop there. He also arranged for Adam to have a place to stay and access to healthcare. Adam, initially hesitant, accepted the offer. He wanted to earn his way, not live off charity. Over the months, Adam threw himself into the work. He learned quickly, using his own experiences to connect with those the charity served. His empathy and dedication earned him the respect of his colleagues. Slowly, Adam began to rebuild his life, one step at a time. The story didn't just end there. News of Adam's selflessness went viral after Marcus shared it at a corporate event. The tale resonated with people across the country, sparking a wave of generosity. Donations poured into the charity, allowing it to expand its reach and help countless others like Adam. And Adam? He became a symbol of hope, proof that even in the darkest times, doing the right thing can lead to a brighter future. He didn't just find a new life for himself. He became a source of inspiration for others to find theirs. As for Marcus, the experience humbled him. He started paying closer attention to the world outside his office window, realizing the impact one person can make when they choose integrity and kindness. So, what's the takeaway here? It's not about the money Adam returned or the help Marcus gave. It's about the ripple effect of one good deed. In a world that often feels cold and indifferent, Adam's story reminds us that integrity and kindness still matter. Now let me ask you, how can you bring a little more hope and honesty into the world today? Let me know in the comments below. And if this story moved you, share it with someone who could use a little inspiration. Thank you for watching, and remember, it's not what you have, but what you give that defines you. Until next time, stay hopeful and stay kind.